Hi, I'm Mary Bensel, and welcome to At the Van Wezel, our show about all the fabulous shows and happenings that are happening here. And today I have, as always, my comrade in crime and fun, I should say, because we sell fun here at the Van Wezel.
We do. We sell lots of fun.
Julia Mays. I'm so glad to see you.
So fun to be back again. I know. This is just such a great time. The greatest portion of our season, I think, is January, February, and March. Where we,
April. It's
go,
all
go,
the big
go.
shows,
Yeah.
and it's a show every night, and
excitement.
Excitement, and then the weather is so beautiful. So come to Sarasota, everybody. This is the most fabulous place to live. It's perfect. Anyway, we have one show that we're going to talk about that is in January, at the end of January, Michael Feinstein.
A new and exciting land. For once in my lifetime, I feel like a giant. I soar like an eagle.
Yes, and he's doing the Sinatra Project.
The Sinatra Project. And he, it's interesting, Michael has met Sinatra when he was in, I think it was in Las Vegas, wasn't it?
I think so,
And he was singing a tribute, and apparently Sinatra wasn't listening to him, and then he started singing all these obscure Sinatra songs, and so suddenly there he was, and getting touched on the shoulder, and somebody saying, "Hey kid, where did you get all these songs?" And ever since then, he's been sort of the official interpreter. So
yes, and he does a lot of research on all of these.
Yeah, and he
songs.
also he has a club in London and a club in New York, and he really is one of the nicest people I've ever met. And that show is on January 31st, and hopefully we have some tickets available. And one thing we should mention to people, even if we have a sold-out show, artists sometimes get holds through their contract, and at the last minute they don't use them. So even try the last day,
absolutely.
and you might get
day
a
of show,
great
and
seat.
you might be a great seat.
So,
Exactly.
I always encourage you, even though, you may have called and there weren't seats, there may be at the last minute. No guarantees, but, that happens.
Still call.
And then we switch gears and we go to another great-looking guy, Josh Bell, who I think is pretty much hailed as the best American violinist.
American, yes.
He's just, he's won a Grammy Award. He was Instrumentalist of the Year. He does
such a unique style.
Oh my gosh.
But it's very popular.
He's very popular, and he also has scored some motion pictures with other people, and I have never seen him perform.
Me neither,
but
so I'm excited.
Heard about him for years, and so I was so thrilled when we were able to book him.
I've seen him on PBS. They've had him on PBS, but it's not the same as seeing it live, folks.
Live,
see it live.
Live is the best.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I was mentioning at Christmas time, I got to see Hugh Jackman in concert, which folks would love to bring to Sarasota, and seeing him live.
And of course, if we'd let you, you'd talk about him for the whole show.
I would, wouldn't I? That is one gorgeous man who can sing, but the rave reviews he got, this one lady
Broadway
called him like, that you can't learn this kind of charisma. So folks, I'm working on that one, but don't get your hopes up. But then we have a whole different kind of music.
Oh, good old Willie Nelson.
Oh,
Don't
I
we just
adore
love
him.
Willie Nelson and Friends this time.
Yes.
So he may have a few more than the last time when he was here.
Well, he brought his son
last
year,
time, yep.
and his son has a rock and roll band, and boy, they really cooked. They were
ended
great.
up on the Tonight Show.
No, David Letterman.
Sorry, David Letterman.
Let's not put him on Jay Leno, But he was a great, he also plays in his dad's band as well. But Willie Nelson, this is one of these shows you have to check for at the last minute to see if there's any tickets opening up. But he's a legend, and he just plays that guitar like nobody's business.
Yeah.
And I just love Willie's voice.
And he lives in Hawaii.
He lives in Hawaii. He plays with
Woody Olson. Is it Woody Olson?
No. We're going to remember it later.
We'll remember it.
But anyway, we saw that on a television show that he plays dominoes, I think.
Yeah.
With Woody Harrelson, who was here with the film festival. So anyway.
Who the heck is Woody Olson?
I don't know, Julia.
Must be past for
Let's talk about Foreigner. We don't want to talk about Woody Olson.
Urgent.
Urgent, urgent, very urgent. And one thing that's interesting about this Foreigner concert is originally it was told to us that it was going to be the acoustic version.
Absolutely.
And folks, great news. It's actually with the full band.
The electronic version.
Which I must admit, that is my favorite way to hear them.
Yeah, I like the acoustic. I
Well,
think it's kind of exciting, but both
Acoustic.
Acoustic.
Oh my gosh.
But I think it's going to be exciting. I like electric also.
And of course, Foreigner has some of the songs that, we all grew up with.
Cold as Ice.
Cold as Ice
yep.
and I Want to Know What Love
I
Is.
know what love
Hot-Blooded.
is. Oh, you don't want me to sing anymore? Okay.
No, go ahead. Come hear Foreigner perform. And Foreigner is here on the 7th of February. And this is the whole electronic band, and you're going to really, really enjoy it.
We'll rock out, for sure.
We will rock out. Julie and I have been known to stand at our seat and dance, and
Yes.
it is a sight to behold. So
And
bring
you
your
may
camera.
stand at your seat and dance at concerts.
Yes,
may
you
we?
may. You may. Not at classical concerts,
No,
but at rock and roll
no.
concerts.
Rock and roll. When it's rock and roll.
I don't think the Cleveland Orchestra would think
No.
too much of it if we were boogieing
No.
away.
Rock and
Julia.
roll. We're talking rock and
yeah.
roll.
And then another great fun show is the Blues Brothers.
Don't care if I die. Don't ever leave me. Don't ever say goodbye.
And of course, Jim Belushi is no longer with us, but they received the approval from his wife and the estate.
From Judy and from Dan Aykroyd.
Dan
actually.
Aykroyd. And they will be doing songs from the movie, some of the songs from both of their albums that they did later.
It'll be very similar
And it's
to
a
the
lot
actual...
of music from Chicago.
Yes, it is. It's
from the
lovely.
Chicago region,
Yes.
But I think that is for February a show to really, really.
And the two
brighten your
guys, Wayne, I'm going to kill this, Wayne Katana and Kevin Clarion Lafferty, both of those were auditioned by Belushi's widow, Judy.
Oh, really?
And by Dan Aykroyd, and approved them.
I didn't know that.
So they're very excited about that.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
and
so
it's going to be music, humor, and I know there are tickets available for
Yes,
that
there
show.
are.
So please
get it.
come
It's
out.
going to be hilarious, too.
Now, our next show we're talking about is Forever Tango. And there has been a change in Forever Tango. We announced it, I guess about a month ago. Originally, Dancing with the Stars,
Cheryl
Burke was going to be with the show, but unfortunately, her stepfather has taken very ill. And so she called on her great friend, now talk about ruining names, Anna Trebinskaya.
Very good. See,
who
good for you.
also is with Dancing with the Stars. She is the gorgeous redhead. And I have seen photographs.
And was with Jerry Rice when they won.
Yes, she did.
Yeah.
And she dances so gorgeously. And I've seen the production shots, folks. This is going to be a sexy, sexy dance show.
Hot,
because,
hot,
of course,
hot.
the tango is
it's very
it's
hot
a dance
anyway.
of love and passion. We had a tango show last year, and it was fabulous. But this is the one that has been on Broadway, and Louise, has.
Yes.
Oh, it's
it's
just
fabulous. You don't want to miss this one.
You don't want to miss it. There
No.
are a few tickets still available, and the nice thing about the Van Wezel, every seat in the house is a great
seat. Absolutely.
And that's why we have a smart seat program where we have tickets either at $15 or $30, and
They don't always last long.
no,
so-
they usually sell
yeah.
out the first day.
Yeah.
But I'm a believer that everybody should be able to come see a show, and because this does so much for you.
And this
so,
past 2 years, we've had a lot of new audience come
Oh,
to
my
the Van
goodness.
Wezel. We're very excited.
You should, different audiences with different groups that are coming, because one thing I believe in is we're not just a theater for one kind of an audience. We're, whether you're young, you're old. I wish we could get more acts that cater to the younger audience, but the problem is they become, they're not known well enough to play in a hall this size, and then suddenly they have a hit, it goes on MTV or Disney, and the next thing you know, they're playing
They're
stadiums.
playing the big arenas, right.
And it's hard,
It is
because I'd
hard.
love to have a Justin Bieber and some of those folks. So, we're working on that, guys. And then probably one of my favorite shows of all times, and I have to admit this because most people in the theater don't admit this, but Cats is one of my favorite shows.
I think it's one of mine also.
I've seen it about 40 times, and
Yep.
I can tell you, in Miami on New Year's Eve, a friend of mine was in the company. He was playing the Rum Tum Tiger, and they always go into the audience and they pull somebody out of the audience to dance with. Now, of course, I was on an aisle and I had on a long, strange as it can believe, this was 20 years ago, purple dress, evening gown, and he tangoed up and down the aisles with me as the Rum
that's
Tum Tiger,
nice.
and it was one of my favorite memories. And speaking
great
of
show.
memory, that is one of the best songs.
Weren't you fun?
I'm just too clever. It's just, no, I didn't mean that at all.
And we have 3 performances now.
Right.
We've added a matinee. So those of you who, those people that are always complaining that we don't have a matinee, we've got one this time.
We have one, and it's on February the 11th. We have shows Friday night, Saturday matinee. There are great seats available, and Saturday evening. So there's 3 shows. And I can tell you, I used to work for the company that produces this tour, and it is going to be a fabulous show.
It is. I've seen this production also.
Folks, I will tell you, we will be back in just a second with a very special guest, and we will see you in just a minute. And hi, I'm Mary Bensel, back with At the Van Wezel, and as promised, we have a really, really special guest here. I'm really thrilled to have Mark Familio here, and Mark wears many hats in this community. He's a businessman, he's a father of gorgeous twin girls, fabulous wife. Also, you are very deeply involved with the Van Wezel Foundation and the Sarasota Film Festival. Mark, can you tell us a little bit about what you do and how you juggle all of this?
I juggle it gingerly, but I really, I do it with the help of electronics and computers and personal assistants. I have several businesses, and I've migrated from an operating role to really a super managerial role for many of these businesses in the last few years, as I focused first on the Sarasota Film Festival.
Which you basically saved.
I wouldn't say I saved it.
You're going to be modest.
I'm gonna say that with accuracy, it would be a lot more accurate to say that we were able to rally a strong foundation board and several key individuals who beseeched me to become actively involved in the management of the organization and do what at the time was a tough job of anticipating the economy and the changing market conditions, and tried to lean down our operation to secure it for the future. We had seen what had happened to the Reading Festival here in Sarasota.
Yeah, that was terrible.
It was very sad, especially when we look at the amount of money that could have saved it. And we're even talking about resurrecting it. But when I saw what happened with that, we made a decision as a board that we should not let that happen to the film festival.
Which is, I think, fabulous. And we were talking earlier about Woody Harrelson being here, and we have the opening night here this year at the Van Wezel.
The Van Wezel's been involved in the film festival for many, many years, and we've had a lot of great collaboration. Most recently, the last few years, one of my favorite was when we collaborated with the Hall and with the Sarasota Orchestra, where we did a salute to Elmer Bernstein.
Yes.
It was fabulous.
It was great.
He passed away about a year later, so that stood as a very, very important
It's a high moment.
evening.
And,
it really
of
was.
course, you sit on the boards of the opera and the ballet, but tell me about your role now with the foundation, because the gala is coming up, and it is the most exciting gala in town because Jerry Seinfeld is coming.
We're really excited. Of course, it's funny because it's sold out, I think, in a day or something.
Yes.
And So
You didn't even send the invitations out.
We didn't even send the invitation. So we like to build up a little bit, build the enthusiasm and get people to get out and come, but they're already coming. So
Which is
now we're
fabulous.
able to focus on the actual event. We've got a lot of surprises. This year we're doing a salute to one of our biggest corporate supporters, and it's been a really civic-minded group, Boar's Head.
Oh,
And
wow.
they obviously have a big presence here at the hall and in the entire community. So we're saluting them, and we're celebrating 25 years as a foundation
And you raise a
supporting
lot
this
of money
hall.
for the hall and for kids.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Over the last 10 years, I think we've probably supported a little over $9 million, including some of the renovations that were done here. The last couple of years, about $400,000 a year. Over the last 18 months and 2 years, we've rebuilt some of the foundation board, and we expect that moving forward, we're going to be able to increase that support. There's a lot of exciting things on the horizon.
But the foundation, with the gala, it really ramps up that excitement, I think, because you're going to have a dinner and a party. And
That's right. We have a silent auction, 5:30, and there's going to be a lot of exciting elements of that. And then we'll have the event, which is going to be the early show for
And Jerry
for
is funny.
Yeah, he's hysterical.
And he's clean. That's the thing I love.
He's a real family entertainer. He has a family now, and he's a wonderful guy. I had the opportunity to spend 2 days around him this past summer up in Nantucket, and we were very, very impressed with who he is personally. He's a warm, wonderful guy.
He is, and
he's very giving.
I think it's so fabulous that the foundation has done so much for our education program, for the restoration of the hall. And right now we are in sort of unofficial, official talks with the foundation about possibly working together.
We are here to serve the community. The foundation is here to serve the hall and its place in the community. And frankly, in no small measure due to your leadership and the staff. I mean, Julia, the staff you have working here at the hall, who's really rallied to grow this place and make it operate more efficiently in light of the way the economy has been. We at the foundation have been reinvigorated with our level of support and want to see if we can do more. We want to do more.
And we want more and more for the hall.
And we want to be able to work as a private foundation and have the city and the hall take advantage of our foundation and work hand in hand, truly hand in hand, as a singular purpose as we try to achieve the best we can for entertainment, performing, dramatic arts in our community, our region. So we're really, really supportive of our hall. That's our mission. Education of children is front and center in that role, and we think that we're going to expand that role moving forward in the near and medium term. We're very excited.
I would say, folks, stay tuned. There's much more news coming up about this in the future, and I just want to say thank you on behalf of all of the children of Sarasota, on behalf of all of the things the foundation has been able to do for the hall, and we're just grateful to have Mark and his leadership. And we will be back in a minute.
Did you know City of Sarasota drinking water is very safe? Tested every 2 hours. Delivered right to your house. Much more affordable than bottled water. Environmentally friendly. And it tastes good. City of Sarasota water. Safe, affordable, environmentally friendly.
Want to find out what's going on in the city of Sarasota? Need information on city services? How about looking up meeting agendas or watch a meeting online? You can do all of these things at sarasotagov.com. The city's website has a fresh, new look with easy-to-find information. Join our social networks, sign up for email subscriptions, or learn about doing business in the city of Sarasota. It's all there for you to explore, and it's all in one place. Visit us at sarasotagov.com.
Welcome back, everybody. It was so great to have Mark here and hear about what the foundation's doing for the hall and the gala. It's going to be an exciting evening with Jerry Seinfeld.
It really is.
So we have a really special show to talk to you about for Valentine's Day. And as I was talking and raving on about Hugh Jackman, I was, of course, in New York at Christmas time. And across the street, there was Harry Connick in a show, which we had Harry Connick here last year. And
You could
then,
bring him back anytime you want, too.
Julia, I am working on that as we speak, but he just started
He's
in
one of my favorites.
Law and Order, so he's,
know.
Harry's everywhere, but he's
is.
so phenomenal.
Yeah.
But also in New York at that time was Mandy Patinkin and Patti LuPone. And of course, I felt brilliant because we had booked Mandy and Patti before they ever announced the Broadway run. And what was wonderful, folks, is we had 2 years ago Patti LuPone here, and her show was almost sold out, and everybody said to me, that show was so good. It was the best show. Then last year we had Mandy here alone in concert,
Yep.
and I presented Mandy, I guess, about 10 times in my career. But it was so special last year because he brought his son with him also. And you
That
know,
was delightful.
And he had such a great voice. And
Yeah.
Mandy the whole time was going, that's my boy. You know, and it was so great. And Mandy I saw last month at the Golden Globes because, of course, he's in that new Showtime
Yes.
series, Homeland.
I watched
and
that also.
I saw that perhaps this year he may not be quite the good guy that he was last year. So we'll see.
We
We'll have to
don't know.
ask him.
However, both of them together on the same stage was a brilliant idea.
It was, and I will tell you, this is a show that right now is sold out, but check at the last minute because there may be tickets that come available. And it got rave reviews in New York City, and we really looked like we were on the cutting edge booking it before it got announced for
Yeah.
Broadway. So I'm really excited. So
Or you
please,
can become a Variety subscriber and get those tickets in the very beginning and make sure you get those good
and get them at a
seats.
discount.
Yeah, and get them at a discount.
That's the good thing about being
Yeah.
a subscriber is you get them at a discount for almost all the shows, and
And
you
then
get
you
the best
got your
seats.
seats secure.
Absolutely. And speaking of seats, we have new seats in the theater this year, so that's
yes,
good.
that's right. It is good.
And then we have one of my favorite companies of all times. This is a dance company. This is the Alvin Ailey Group. And Alvin Ailey is one of the most spectacular companies. And they're going to be doing some of their favorite pieces. And they have a new artistic director this year. And, you know, this show, there are probably a few tickets left, maybe a handful.
Yeah, just a handful. Well,
But
you know,
unless the
Sarasota
company releases
supports
some.
Alvin Ailey really well.
Oh,
so.
goodness. They come to Miami every year, and so they're playing Miami, they're playing our theater, and it's really an honor. I can remember seeing
They
that
have some
company
new
when I was
works
young.
out this time also.
I saw Judith Jameson perform, and it was just inspirational. So, but the company is still every bit as good, and that is on February the 21st.
Okay, and one of your favorites coming up.
Yes.
So I'm going to let you talk about her, of course. Well, Linda Eder.
And Linda Eder has a love affair with Sarasota, and Sarasota has a love affair with Linda Eder. And Linda Eder was here at the Oslo Theater. And of course, she's been on Broadway in Jekyll and Hyde. She's been to the Van Wezel, I don't know, 6 or 7 times a year. She's gorgeous. She sings. Oh my gosh, she is just phenomenal.
She is phenomenal. And with Tom Wopat this year, who is one of my very favorites, and people may not realize that he also sings on Broadway.
Yeah, everybody thinks he's
Dukes of Hazzard. You know. Well, that's one of my favorite shows also. However, he is a wonderful Broadway singer.
He is.
Fabulous.
And he was just on Broadway in Catch Me If You Can.
Yep. And he's very funny.
Annie Get Your Gun
Yeah.
with Bernadette Peters.
Yeah.
Were you with me the night there was a cocktail party in New York?
With Mary Lou
Bernadette.
Brenner.
No, it was Bernadette Peters.
Bernadette Peters, but
And Tom Wopat was there.
Yeah.
And Tom Wopat sits down next to me, and he's wearing, of course, he's playing, you know, in Annie Get Your Gun. He's wearing cowboy boots, and he's like, my feet are killing me. I have got to take.
I do remember
So I got
that.
into this long conversation with him, and then we presented him at the Barbara Mann Hall where I used to work. And he's just a great guy and has a gorgeous voice.
Yeah.
So there are
And
great
he's delightful.
seats.
So
Great seats. Linda Eder and Tom Wopat. And what is the date on that one, Jules?
the date on that one is February 24th.
Okay. Now, we talked a lot with Mark about Seinfeld and the gala, and that's another one. Check at the last minute, there may be a seat
Yeah.
come available.
Well, that
but
sold
I'm
pretty
excited
quick,
about
didn't
Jerry.
it? Yeah.
I'm really, you know, he is, I've seen him do his
Well,
stand-up.
we had to add a second show.
I know, and
Sold out
it
so
sold out like
fast.
that.
Yeah.
So we're very, very honored to have Jerry coming to the Van Wezel.
Yes.
Now, we have had this show here before, the Golden Boys.
And they are phenomenal.
They really,
Dick
are.
Fox's Golden Boys with Frankie Avalon, Fabian, and
Bobby Rydell.
And I'm telling you.
I'm from Philly, so.
Oh, there
know.
you go. So, I mean, they just do such a wonderful job. They come out dressed like they used to in the olden days, and it's just a fabulous performance.
Well, and I mean, you know, you can remember Bobby Rydell from, you know, Bye Bye Birdie and
Yep.
Frankie Avalon from all those movies with Annette. And I mean,
And Wild One, he sings Wild
and
One, yep.
Fabian, they used to tear Fabian's clothes off. You know?
Turn me loose. I think he used to sing that.
I don't want to turn you loose.
No, but I think he sang that when he was out in the audience.
He did, and you know, remember the first night we did them, that these mothers brought their kids from a dance school who were playing parts in Grease, because of course Frankie Avalon was, you know, Teen Angel,
Yep.
and so the kids are having their pictures taken with the stars after the show. And I can still hear this one kid saying, "Mommy, who were those guys?" And the mother goes, "Shut up,
right, stop,
shut up.
stop.
This was my dream come true." So it was really a funny night.
Yeah.
And then we have the Irish Rovers, but I think we should.
That's Sunday, February 25th.
Let's see a little bit of the
let's
Irish
check a little
Rovers.
The boys of Belfast town, ranting, roaring, rambling, right where Irishmen of high renown. That's the boys of Belfast. I've got your green alligators, a long neck geese, some hunty backhand. Could have been the whiskey, it might have been the gin. It could have been the 3 or 4 6-packs, I don't know, but look at the mess I'm in.
So folks, come out for the Irish Rovers. It is so much fun. They sing the same songs, but every time you hear them, it's sort of like, you know, I feel the same way when Jimmy Buffett comes, you know, and everybody's heard Cheeseburger in Paradise. But
sing along with them.
You just sing along with them, and it's just a great night, you know, and maybe we can talk them into having green beer here at the theater or something
we'll do
like
something
that.
for sure.
And then we take a turn to Swan Lake. And Swan Lake really, folks, got a resurgence last year when Black Swan won the movie, you know, won the Oscar.
Right.
And this is an incredibly difficult ballet for a ballerina. One of my best friends who used to be a ballerina with Pittsburgh Ballet played the part. And of course, as you're the White Swan, you're lyrical, and you know, it's just a very beautiful, graceful dance. But when you go to the Black Swan, it's all sharpness and passion and fire, and it's quite a role to do.
It is.
And it takes a big company, and so we have the Moscow Festival Ballet here. And that is on February the 28th.
That's correct.
And this is a great
place for grandmoms, for moms to bring your children
for the first time to see a ballet.
See a ballet. It's a beautiful ballet to be the first time.
It's a full-length ballet, and it's a great introduction to the dance world. We have a fabulous ballet company here in Sarasota, and this is, you know, you see one thing and they want to go to the next ballet. And inspires them. Now we're going to talk about Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons, but
I'd like to talk about the Four Seasons.
Talk about the Four Seasons, Julia. Explain
Those
what you
four
mean.
Seasons,
Explain it, Lucy.
Explain me, Lucy. Well, I'll tell you, last time we had Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons, Mary and I got a little resurgence ourselves when they walked out. They were these young, handsome 4 new guys out there.
The seasons have changed.
The seasons have changed, yes.
Yes.
So,
and Frankie Valli is still Frankie Valli.
And he's still
singing
still
those
there.
great songs.
Yep.
And I mean, you know, of course, you know, he is the original Jersey Boys, we know. And
but you know what I liked about the Four Seasons and what Frankie Valli has done with his show now is he's brought that young modern appeal and modern young
take on
those songs, and it's really very phenomenal. I mean, I loved it. It was wonderful.
We saw a group
as well as being very nice looking.
Oh, that's really what you were trying to say, Julie. Let's be honest. But you know, there's another show that I'm hoping to bring next year to the hall called the Midtown Men, where the 4 original guys who played the Four Seasons and Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons on Broadway have their own show where they bring back their own take on a lot of the music of that time. But Frankie Valli is a great show. There are no tickets that I'm aware of, but they may come
just like
available.
we told you about all the other ones. You can call our box office at 953-3368. You can go online to purchase tickets in your jammies like Mary likes to do at vanwezel.org, not .com, vanwezel.org. And please join our email club, because that gets you an e-blast, our newsletter, and you're updated constantly. So go online, vanwezel.org, and join.
And I must tell you folks, make sure you go to our official website to buy tickets, because what happens is there are secondary ticket brokers out there that they buy tickets from the hall, they put them on the second site, and you know, you're welcome to purchase them from them, but you may pay 5 or 6 times the value of the ticket. And we don't want people to be cheated. So please go to our official site. And I tell you, come down to the box office. We have some really friendly people.
Absolutely.
So this was a great time to talk about it. And it's, as we said at the beginning of the show, who would like a community more than we do? Sarasota is so fabulous with the weather and the great shows here at the Van Wezel.
And we'll see you at the Van Wezel.
You bet.